Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Air Hauler 2 with me, Herd 37. So on our last flight, we brought that Cessna 182 down from Meigs Field in Chicago, Illinois. It was KCGX, down to our new base down in Louisville, Kentucky, KSDF. And what we're trying to do, we're trying to get this plane now, in this flight, over to Jacksonville, Florida. There's, of course, if I show you this, the 5 humanitarian missions, because Hurricane Dorian, where it hit the Bahamas, we can take emergency housing over there. Now, we have some emergency housing from before, from that hurricane was a year or two ago, I believe, down in Jacksonville, and also our plant makes it. You take some chemicals, which is available actually at Jacksonville, turn that into plastic, and then you take plastic, add it to building materials, and make emergency housing. So we're going to have the chemicals to make the plastic, and then there's a couple airports nearby that have building materials, so we're going to pick some of those up after we get to Jacksonville and take them over there. I actually have one other plane there. It's another 182, actually. One of my young pilots, and he'll probably go to the other one, or the closest one, whichever, and get some building materials as well. And then we'll hopefully eventually fly them down probably to Nassau in the Bahamas. I can't remember. There's like I said, there's 5. We'll look at that in probably the next one or something. Which airport we're going to take them down to after we get everything made down there in Jacksonville. But first, I want to also repair this plane. And I noticed one thing, because this is actually the 3rd time I've tried to do this flight. I ran out of memory last time. I think freaking Bitdefender is just using way too much. And then when you take on like the high scenery and stuff, it's just not good. But if you look at this, the repair cost basically $5,000 after a discount of $7,500. But you'll notice the flaps. The flaps are still broken. So I don't know if we've been not having flaps. I noticed last time in the replay, I couldn't understand why the flaps weren't down. So I don't know when that exactly happened. But look at that. It's $12,000. Like $30,000, but we get a discount of $18,000. So now at least the flaps will work. Alright, so now that plane is fully repaired down here at Louisville. And so we've got to get this thing over to Jacksonville. So we did in the last one at the end. Turn it over to a passenger plane, and once we get to Jacksonville, we'll have to go back to cargo. But first we're going to do... Actually, that's not... I didn't want route. Geez, now that's going to take forever because Air Hauler 2 is so slow. I wanted to do ad hoc flight. Anyway, really quick, we'll run over here to FS Commander while that thing struggles. So Louisville, I think we're going to take off on 17 left, I believe. I tried this yesterday, so we've got to switch runways because of the wind. I should be heading of like 170 degrees. I did take it over to the VORs. Probably not really necessary because we're just going to fly autopilot. I was thinking about trying navigation after this flight maybe, but I took it to the VORs. Just, I don't know. I really didn't need to do that. But down here in Jacksonville, we're going to land on runway 26. It's this runway here. Heading of 257 degrees. ILS is 110.30. And the airport elevation is like 30 feet. So basically, sea level. Just come over here to ad hoc flight. And we've got our 1 available. I hate that we're on that screen. Because, man, this screen. Actually, I'm going to cancel out and get out of something better. There we go. That route stuff, man. God, Air Hauler 2 is really slow trying to make routes now. Because I've got so many. It's really annoying. All right, so we're flying down to Jacksonville. And I'm surprised I can move that all the way up to 715. It still says that there's 7 or 3 people, which is the max that we can take, that they'll still go, which is amazing to me, but all right. So 1803, I'm going to move that back. That, of course, is like Zulu time. So now I can't even click that. Oh, good Lord, Air Hauler. Hopefully she doesn't crash on me. There it went. So for that'll be around noon. If it's back 5, it'll be 11. So that's good. 15 minutes before takeoff. That's fine with me. I think everything else looks good. No service. Going to Jacksonville. That looks good. Now I'm gonna actually see. It took it down to 44. Daggone it. I'd like to get it. There we go, 6 point to get up to 50. All right, so well, I didn't get to tell you, but it's the flight is what 500 and I think 12,518 miles. Now, with 50% fuel, or not 50, well, it's actually more than 50%, but the 50 gallons, the last flight was half as long, just under half as long, and we use like 12%. So having it at 50 gallons, I can't remember the exact percent now, I think 60%, it should be plenty, because we actually use less than Air Hauler 2 thinks, because we lean it out. So anyhow, see, and this button, I can't use last position. I don't know why. I guess because we switched it over and now we're a passenger. I don't know. Because I tried another gate last time, and it actually put me outside the fence of the airport, and I couldn't get back in, kept knocking me back. So we'll go with that gate. And this isn't the one that we'll use. I'll load that up in FSX. But with that, we can go ahead and move on over to the plane. All right, everybody, 30 seconds to go. We'll cut in here. I was about to take off, and I noticed outside my window, I thought I saw somebody walking around, and I've got my headphones on. And so I take my headphones off, and there's a guy with the leaf blower just ruining everything. So we'll try this again, because I'd already taken off, but it's like, I kept thinking about it. I was like, you know what, man, I had just taken off, so I was like, yeah. I don't know if any of that was on the, when I was talking while in Air Hauler 2, but it kind of annoys me. So, they're about to board, and the lady's going to start talking too, so I'll do this real quick, just a little bit. Pre-flight inspection complete, passenger briefing will say complete, they're not in yet. Brakes tested and set, circuit breakers are all pushed in, electrical equipment is all off, avionics master switch is off, cowl flaps are open, fuel sector valve in both, and avionics circuit breakers pushed in. Alright, looks like they are, yeah, they're all in now. We'll close that door. We got 9 minutes to get out of here. We'll beat that. Alright, this thing came started up, so I'm not going to prime it. But what we're going to do here is turn on our master switch. And turn on our beacon. Give her a little bit of throttle here. In fuel. High RPM. See if we can get her to start up here. Here we go. And it'll be brighter here in a second. I turned off the ENB because anytime Air Hauler 2 throws up these green bars and stuff, it flickers real bad. I'll bring the throttle down a little bit here. Turn our nav lights on. So oil pressure is here in the green. Ammeter is charging. Navigation lights are on. Taxi will do here in a second. Let's see. Avionics master switch is on. I'm going to turn my pitot heat on as well. Let's go ahead and turn all this on. Transponder goes to standby. I've set it at 8,500 feet on the autopilot, which is off. Radios are on. Let's make sure the flaps are retracted. They are. Alright, and now we taxi. So taxi over to the left. Taxi light coming on. Now it gets a little quiet. I don't know. It did that last time, right where we are. It's so loud. There's the flickering. It happens a lot with FS Dream Team. I don't know why. I don't know if it's... They set their airports like right over the default airport. It's kind of odd how they do that. I've never seen anyone else do it. I'm not saying it's bad. But I always notice with them I get some flickering. I don't think that's the cause, but I've always noticed that you get some of that with them. Man, they're really high quality airports too. Can't wait to try some of them in P3D4. That'd be sweet. Alright. Air Hauler 2 will still throw up some information, but we're safer now. So let's go find our runway. It's up here and to the left. We got to cross another runway, 2911. The first time I did it, man, I kept seeing airport runway 2911, 2911. I was like, where the heck is 30? Was it 35 and 17? And there's like one or two signs for it, and I completely missed it because all I kept seeing was 2911. I was like taxiing around, couldn't find it. The very first time I tried this, should be good now. Because I also keep going down here, and I don't think there's a way to get over to the runway from over here. So now, at least I can remember to go over this way. Another thing, I'm kind of glad that we were doing the flight from when I tried this yesterday. I don't know if it's because of the hurricane. I don't think it was, because even in Tennessee, our flight satisfaction when I was getting close to Florida or close to Jacksonville was already down to 30% because the passenger satisfaction getting knocked around would be like 0.7 Gs, and there's nothing I can do about it. If it's turbulent, it's turbulent. I went above the clouds, I went below the clouds. I just could not get it to stop. And it's mainly left to right motion. It's not up and down. And yeah, our passenger says you start out with like 75%, and it got all the way down to 30. And the closer we got, or further down into Florida and everything, it was almost constantly going down, like every few seconds. I don't know if that was because of Hurricane Dorian being close down there, although it moved up into North Carolina, so I don't really know. Alright, so see, here's 20. You see these signs 2911. That's all I kept seeing. You don't see 35 and 17s right over here. We'll come up here and stop, and then put on our appropriate lights to cross the runway into get over towards our runway. We're going to take it off to the left. So I'm going to take this little one over here to the right. And let's get down here. Strobe lights on lane. Well, I don't know if we need. Well, I don't think we don't have to do that to cross the runway. Just make sure no one's coming. You can hear an engine every time you come over to this runway. I hear an engine. Last time I actually heard someone taking off, but I could never see him. So this is 17 right. I keep saying 17 left. I'm getting my runways all mixed up. Alright. Let's throw on the parking brakes. Door before takeoff checklist. Cabin doors are closed. Flight controls. Let's see my rudder pedals. Everything looks good. Rudder pedals, everything looks good. Flight instruments, everything is checked. I've got my heading set to 170. Everything here looks good. Fuel quantity checked. I also, in this flight, I switched my passengers. I keep having me and the guy behind me on the left side, and then the two ladies on the right side, and it's throwing off the balance, I think. Because it's been going left. It'll probably still do that, because there is a strong wind here. But hopefully it's a little better now. Fuel selector valve is in both. I've already trimmed it for takeoff. 1800 RPMs. And last time the magnetos actually worked. Let's see if they work. If they're, well, looks good. Oh, I think they're actually both good again. Prop, cycle the prop. Looks good. Vacuum gauge in the green. Ammeter looks like it's working. No warnings on the annunciator panel. Check idle. And now we'll go to 1,000 or less. We'll do the strobes and lane lights here in a second when we're ready to go. Radios and avionics, everything is set. I'm going to set this up real quick and take off the messages. Take that off. Nav GPS, I've set it to GPS. Autopilot is off, and I've already got set to 8,500 feet. Cabin windows are closed and locked. Flaps set for takeoff. Cowling flaps are open. See anyone at this end. I don't know why I have to hit the middle mouse button now in this version of EasyDock to go up and down. Really annoying. Strobes, lane lights. Reset my views. Parking brake is off. And we can go for it. So the flickering of the signs and stuff. I get that a lot with FS Dream Team. I don't know why. Like, I don't know if I mentioned, but I turn the scenery down. Scenery complexity is at dense, and autogen is at normal. Let's see if we can't make the big flight, long flight down to Jacksonville without OOMing. Power up a little bit. Lined up. Alright, here we go. A little forward pressure. Speed is alive. Oh, really kicking right now. 60 knots. Yeah, there's that big kick to the left, man. Good lord. That's worse than last time. Calm down, girl. Good lord. Gotta get that nose down, too. Departure was on time. Yeah, our passenger satisfaction last time was down at 30. Like I say, it was really turbulent the whole way down. Trying to get my nose down too, build up a little more airspeed. We're a little off to the left here. Getting over towards their runway, so get back over here. 80 knots, retracting the flaps, inner marker sound. Alright, inner marker sound, let's get off of me. But there is a really strong wind, because after I'd taken off last time, you have to point the nose to the right pretty hard to get her to go straight, to keep on aligning on the navigation. It's been really bad. You can see, you can see on the nav how far I'm kicking the nose over to the right to try and keep her straight. She just really kicks over. We're a little off to the right now, but man, we were getting over top of that other runway, or started to get a little too close. It's kind of cool. On the last takeoff, probably about this time, there was actually a Southwest plane coming at us, right under us, going on to the other runway, which makes me think you're taking off to the wrong wrong direction. But it's pretty much what the wind showed me, so I'm all right with it. I'm trying to let her to drift a little more to the left. Bring the nose up a little bit. Climb speed is 85 to 95 knots. I don't really have any hands free to hit the other controls because I got to move my view. That'll definitely screw me up if I try that. I think we're about high enough where we can go ahead and hit the autopilot on it, because it'll take me to the left to get back on the navigation. But I think I don't want to be in the path, obviously, of oncoming traffic, but autopilot, I'm going to use the heading just for a minute. Get that to 500 feet. Armor it for 8,500. That's why I didn't want to do that too soon, because I got to keep it under control. You saw that. That go way up and our speed come way down. I knew that was going to happen. So our climb power needs to be about 2,300. Or full power, whichever is less. Bring her down just a little bit. 23.5 works for me. Need to get this to 2,400 RPM. That's good right there. We're about out of the way now. We can switch this over to nav. Bring us over to the left. I don't know if we missed the other waypoint or not. See, now it dropped. This is just a normal turn. So you can see why the turbulence shaking left to right was really ruining it. Even just a slight turn. That didn't seem anything big to me. Alright, 3,700 feet. I'm going to go ahead and lean this out to about 85%. Should get a... the temperature's actually going down. It's been hard to do this in 4x speed too, because the temperature will change so much even when you're trying to lean her out. Alright, we need to climb a little bit hard. We're supposed to climb at 85 to 95. We're almost up to 120. But that's been ticking real bad in some of the other flights too. I guess it's just because of the wind. The wind's been kind of wicked. Hopefully it's not so bad this time. Alright, so no, see, uncomfortable. What happened? What happened right there that made it uncomfortable? So we're kicking a little bit, but that it's really disappointing, man. But I mean, you got to deal with it. Like I said, we hadn't even landed last time. It was already to 30%. Now you'll see the coming down a lot, 85 to 95, and it's coming down. Switch that down to 500. Add a little more power to get her over 2,300. There we go. That should stay pretty much a constant. $96. It's on the upper end, 85 to 95. I'm gonna keep her right there at 95. Just continue to add power through the climb. Alright, well, I don't know exactly how long it is, because now we got the waypoints. Oh no, I don't have the waypoints. Daggone, I forgot on this one to hit the flight planner. So, it's just under 4 hours now. Uncomfortable again. Unbelievable. And unbelievable, I forgot the flight planner again. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and speed on up, everybody, and we'll be back in just a little bit. Alright, everybody, cutting back in here. Airport is just off to our right. I've got her set down to go down to 1,800 feet since we're coming kind of close. I'll cut over onto, what was it, runway 26, heading of 257 degrees. We're using our heading on the autopilot right now. We'll cut back in a little bit here. We still need to get down a little ways. Like I said, I was set at 2,500 for the approach, and I brought it down to 1,800. Bring back the power a little bit. We're getting into the yellow. Although it keeps saying like cruising altitude. I was just or cruising speed is like 145 or something online. It's like, how is that possible exactly? Because 85%, that's at 75% or something. We're 85%, and we're down at like 112. Pretty close on our altitude from what those PAPI lights say. Now, I believe those PAPI lights are always pretty much tied to us. Alright, so we're leveling off, so I'm going to increase the power a little bit. Too worried about our speed. We're about to have to turn here. 257 degrees. That is the runway heading. All of our lights are on. Full rich, high RPM. I've got our navigation set up, but I don't think that that's working. We're going to have to come over to the right just a little bit more. We turned a little slightly late. Our speed is looking good. We're a little high here. I don't know why our nav doesn't like it. Outer marker. 700 feet a minute. We pretty much can take that off. We're gonna have to go to kick the autopilot off here. Reset that to. Can't reset that to 2,500. I probably could, but I gotta kind of concentrate right now. Power coming back. Gotta get her down into the arc here, so we can get our flaps out. Bring back the power even more. Coming back online here. Alright, there's the arc. Bring my power up a little bit on the path here. Slightly high from that ballooning effect. Second notch of flaps coming out. Oh, come on now. This happened last time at Louisville. I just can't seem to get it to trim good enough. So I'm clicking that trim button like crazy, and it's just now helping get it down a little bit. Alright, we're at full flaps. Of course, that's going to balloon it even more. I'm going to just push the nose down to the ground because we're plenty high. We're at 70 knots, landing speed is 60. Coming back on the path now. We're going to get a little too slow, but I think actually we're pretty good. on it now. Probably coming in a little too quick. Or down too quick. Off the power. Oh. Brought her up a little bit much there. Oh. Oh. Not that great, but not the worst. So this was a greaser 30 minutes early. I hit a little much rudder and everything there towards the end. When I heard that stall, I said, oh man, I hope we're only right over it. But well, as the nose came back down, it actually picked up a little bit more speed and the warning went off. Retract the flaps. How are the cowling flaps open? I closed those. I'm confused. Maybe did I open them on the descent? I have to look. I'm pretty sure I closed those. Now, I want to look real quick. I'm going to go to the next taxiway, because it doesn't look like they're busy. Because technically we should be getting off the runway. But that went bit back to the left. Our last passenger satisfaction, by the way, that I saw was like 68%. I hope I didn't just make someone go around. Hope that was the other runway. Well, there isn't what intersects. Did they make someone go around? I hope not. I would feel bad because we should have taken the other the taxiway. Damn, this thing with the brakes. Trying to keep the engine from not stalling. I don't see anyone. Never see any lights or anything. Let's go ahead and lean this out. Put it at 60%. That's fine with me. Strobes. Landing lights can go off. There's some private planes over there. Maybe that's where we need to go. Looks like we can go down 2 taxiways and cut over to the left to get over there. Almost kind of looks like a 182 over there as well. Could be a 172. Let's just make sure that we'll take this one right here. As you can see, we didn't use much fuel. I want to check out some information when we get back to Air Hauler 2. Because I was looking up the range during the flight because I noticed we weren't using much fuel. It says like 900 and some miles. So we should have used over 50% of the fuel that we had. So it's 25 gallons. So it should be like 12. And we're at 17. We only use like 8 gallons. We should have used a little over 12. Or 8. Let's say 8. So it's kind of annoying because I'm trying to get that correct. He can go off as well. Oh, come on. Back to the left. So, ClioSim, I haven't seen much from them other than this airport. I gotta say, this airport isn't that bad at all. Like, it's actually pretty nice with the scenery, especially with the static planes and stuff. I'm surprised we never have seen more from them. This is where Track IR comes in handy if I had it. Be able to look over there to see when to turn. There's someone in that plane. That could, is that our plane? I don't know how to tell the difference between a 172 and 182, but we have a 182 parked here. One of our people. I guess we're getting a little far. Parking brake's coming on. Give her just a tad more fuel. Or power, I should say. Alright, let's look at the... turn this thing off. Although it's really quick. Parking brake set. Throttle back down to idle. Electrical equipment all needs to be turned off. Come on, button. Transponder, I should have already turned that back to standby. All that is off. Avionics master switch off. Taxi lights coming off. Let's see. Mixture. Goes to idle cutoff. Nav. Beacon can come off. Let's see. Ignition comes off. I was going to turn off the master switch, but okay. Was that 68? I have to look again. Passengers disembarked. Alright, so let's finish the flight monitoring. Alright. Took off at 2:02, landed at 5:30. It was 3 hours, 35 minutes. Took off with 293 pounds of fuel, landed with 208. See, it's just not using enough. Max altitude 8,550 feet. Max pitch negative 13.8. Max roll negative 16.5. Max speed 144 knots. Minimum G 0.5. Minimum G exceeded 14. It's just so turbulent. I can't do anything about it. Max G is 1.5. Max G's exceeded 1. Stall false, overspeed false. In the description, greaser. Gear down, of course, was true. Let's fix gear. Landed on concrete, no damage to the surface, no damage to the plane. Came down at 71 feet a minute. See, that's a lot. That's like 100 feet less than last time. It was much more of a greaser, I guess. The last one seemed really coming down quick. Landing speed 45.7 knots. Landing pitch negative 6.0. Landing roll negative 0.3. Landing heading 262. Wind speed 5. Wind direction 330. Finish the flight monitoring. Now, okay, so we're at passenger here at KJAX. We need to switch this thing over to cargo. Cost us $1,300. It's not too much. I don't remember exactly how much we made on that flight. $750 a person. We may have lost a little bit by doing that, but yeah, we made some up to get back down here. Maybe not. All right, we could have gone over to Lexington to get building materials, but then that was a whole other flight. On the way down, I was like, I don't really want to do that. So I want to look at something. So I think I'm in here. Is MU Herd 37 in here? Or do I have to go to personal info? Because I want to see. Yeah, I guess we're not in here. Because I couldn't tell if that was 68 or 86, so I might have to go look back. Actually, flight log right there. It was 2016. What in the hell? Where did I see that date exactly? Takeoff time. Here we go. 17. All right, Skylane 2 here to Jacksonville. So 68%. It was just so turbulent. I think that has something to do with Active Sky, using that and all the A-to-A and everything. So it kind of sucks. I mean, that really kind of brought it down. We've got 144, almost 145 million. Go back over here. Let's go to overview map. It'll take a second to bring that up. Always does, because like I say, there's two of us with the Skylanes down here. Commodity stocks. Well, let's take a look over here at factories too. So down here at Jacksonville, stock manufacturing. See, we can produce emergency housing, which is what we need, and also medical supplies, which we actually don't need, and plastics. So stock manufacturing. So we've already, I guess we don't have any emergency housing. It was just plastics that we have. So we already have 5,113. Let's see if I remember how to do this. So emergency housing. I can't remember how to show you what it takes. Emergency housing. See, there is some. 2,216. Maybe it was the tier. Commodity. Chemicals. Maybe that isn't it, because that's not exactly what I'm looking for, but it doesn't matter. We'll go back over here. I believe it's 2 plastics and 1 building supplies or something like that. So here at Jacksonville, they do have chemicals. So let's go ahead and buy some chemicals. It's $11. It's actually cheaper than most places. There's one that's barely cheaper. So obviously don't want to buy a max. Why does that say max? Oh, because you can click it. No thanks. I want to click that. So I believe it takes 2 chemicals to get, let's buy 2,000. So it costs us 22,000. So that'll only actually give us 1,000. So I think we already have some. So you can actually put them on any 3 base storage area. I'm gonna buy that. Also, I want to show you. We got one thing I don't like about this. Now we have to find building supplies, but you got to click on another airport that'll have building supplies, building materials right there. See, that's so stupid that it took us to Huntington. All right, so here are the 2 closest airports. So Palatka Municipal, Larkin Field. It's $38 here. It's $44 here at Lake City. I kind of want to go to Lake City, but it's more expensive there. So I might go to 28J Palatka Field. Wish we could look at some information of Palatka Field. All right, so we'll go to one of them. I kind of want to. I thought I've heard of Lake City because I kind of want to go there, but maybe we can actually make a trip to both just to try them both out. So maybe in the next one we'll fly down here and back, and then do another flight over here and back. By that time, I'll probably have to go back to work. So hopefully on my next days off, those humanitarian missions will still be there, and we'll be able to take the emergency housing over there to like Nassau or something. So let's go over here very quickly. Factories and construction. It was items, chemicals. How did because I don't remember exactly. There we go. There. I'm sorry, Dan. So emergency housing takes 1 plastic and 2 building materials. To get plastics, it takes 2 chemicals. So there. That's how we get that. So we should have. I don't know why it doesn't show. Here it is, the chemicals. Move to our factory. So we can make 1,000 plastic out of that. I've already got a bunch of emergency housing. I can actually probably take some over there. Because what is the capacity? Because if we do 1 each, actually that's not, does it go this way? Yeah. So capacity is actually 1,200, so that's actually not too bad. So we can take basically 2,400. And how much do we have? 2,200. Daggone, we got enough for 2 plane loads already. So add 1,000 to that or something. We'll figure it out. If I need some more, I'll buy some more. We can like take at least 1, if not 2 by ourselves, and have the other dude do some as well. So we want to do plastics. I don't know why it doesn't bring up what you need. There we go. 2,000 chemicals, which is what we got. Add to the queue. 1,000 pounds of plastics. That's what we want. I'm not sure how long exactly it takes. But, alright. Well, I guess that's it for this episode, everybody. I hope y'all did enjoy it. I'll catch you guys on the next flight.